Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Sasha Hanani binti Abdul Hadi. I am from class AS2291A. So I'm going to present my topic for EVT427 assignments, which is industrial water pollution. So what is water pollution? Water pollution is any change in water quality that can harm any living organisms or make the water unfit for humans' uses, such as drinking, irrigation, and recreation. Water pollution is degraded water toxic to humans or the environment. It occurs when harmful chemicals or microorganisms, or sometimes simply garbage or too much sediments, contaminates a stream, river, wetland, groundwater, aquifer, ocean, in short, any body of water. Next is industrial water pollution. So with the coming of industrial revolution, humans were able to advance further into 21st century. Technology developed rapidly, science became advanced, and the manufacturing age came into view. So with all these came one more effects. Due to development in many industries, such as light and heavy industries, it brings higher potential effect to the environment. Industries produce large amount of waste and then dumped into water like oceans or rivers without proper management, thus polluting the water. Types of water pollution. Industrial water pollution is a point source pollution. It is where pollutants are discharged into bodies of surface or underground water at specific locations through drain pipes, ditches, or sewer lines. Industries play a big part in occurrence in point source pollution. So we move on to the causes of industrial water pollution. The causes for industrial water pollution is mining and manufacturing, oil spills, and hazardous waste. First is mining and manufacturing. So manufacturing activities generate a wide variety of waste products, including many toxic chemicals that are ultimately discharged into waterways. So mining and oil drilling also cause substantial industrial pollution to both surface and groundwater, rendering it too toxic for any purpose. So the waste typically change the acid level of surrounding water substantially as well. Next is oil spills. Of the 1 million tons of oil discharged into the ocean every year, around 5% comes from natural sources in the ocean floor. 35% comes from regular shipping operations, including illegal tank cleaning, and 45% comes from municipal and industrial effluents, that is wastewater. Much of it from storm water washing oil from roadways. All tank and rig disasters account for around 10% of marine population, which is a big number. Next is hazardous waste. As with industrial waste discharges, hazardous waste is largely uncontrolled in developing countries and can easily enter the waterways. In the United States, hazardous waste has been recognized as such for years, and companies conceal their hazardous waste by storing it in barrels and burying it. It is estimated there are over 20,000 abandoned and uncontrolled hazardous waste sites with a potential to leak hazardous waste into the groundwater. Pollutants from industrial sources include asbestos, lead, mercury, nitrates, phosphates, sulfur, and many more. What I'm going to talk about next is the dangers of industrial water pollution. Industrial water pollution are dangerous to living organisms, to the economy, and to the environment. So firstly is the danger of industrial water pollution to living organisms. Heavy metals can slow development, resulting in birth defects, and some are carcinogenic. Some of the toxins in industrial waste may only have mild effect, whereas others can be fatal. They can cause immune suppression, reproductive failure, or acute poisoning. Next is the danger to our economy. So, water pollution can be damaging to the economy as it is expensive to treat and prevent the contamination. So, there are treatments to prevent pollution such as biological filters, chemical additives, and sand filters. But the cost of the pollution cleanup depends on their factors. So, the factors are the location of the pollution is important to determine how much the cleanup will cost. Next is the contamination size also needs to be considered because the larger the area of contamination, the more expensive the cleanup. Next, the type of pollutant may also have an effect on the cleanup cost because some pollutants are difficult to clean up than others and can be more expensive. Next is danger to our environment. So the entire animal communities can be badly affected by pollutants like heavy metals from industrial processes. So these heavy metals are toxic to the marine life such as fish and shellfish and can affect the rest of the food chain. Some toxins from the industrial waste affect the reproductive success of marine life and can therefore disrupt the community structure of an aquatic environment. Suspended particles can often reduce the amount of sunlight penetrating the water, disrupting the growth of photosynthetic plants and microorganisms. This has subsequent effects on the rest of the aquatic community that depend on these organisms to survive. So there are many ways to control or reduce the industrial pollution. Firstly would be source control. So development of better technology for disposal of waste and being more conscientious about the use of raw materials can help control industrial pollution at the source. Next is recycling. Recycling as much as polluted water in the industry as possible by increased recycling efforts to reduce industrial pollution. Thirdly is industry site selection. So consideration of location of the sites and the potential impact on the surrounding environment can help reduce harmful consequences. Next is proper treatment of waste. So by developing and implementing adequate treatment facilities for handling industrial waste and proper habits can reduce pollution. Next is stricter laws and enforcement. So there should be more strict rules to take action against the companies who do not follow proper protocol and more significant rewards for the companies who operate properly. It requires creating policies that prevent misuse of land. So lastly is regular environmental impact assessment. To be a responsible company or industry, they should require regular environmental impact assessment that are reported for evaluation. If there are harmful impacts discovered during the review, necessary actions to correct the negative consequences should be developed and enforced. So, ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, we will take a look at current issue in Malaysia on industrial water pollution. Illegal dumping into sewerage system. On 4th of October of 2020, news report was made majority of water disruption on household in Klang Valley. So the shutdown of the Air Selangor water treatment plant in September 2019 was a result of odor pollution caused by illegal dumping of prohibited waste into the sewerage system. So this is a continuous issue that happens back in time, but eventually having negative consequences in the future.
The Department of Environment DOE is investigating an oil spill at Pantai Cermin Batu 10 near Port Dickson, which has polluted about 3 kilometers of the coast. State Health, Environment, Cooperatives and Consumerism Committee Chairman S. Virapan said oil samples have been taken and will be sent to the Department of Chemistry to determine the cause of the spill. He said cleanup work is being conducted and advised members of the public not to visit the beach until the process is completed.
Oil spills in Port Dickson. On October 14th of 2020, the Environment Department (DOE) revealed that a mysterious oil spill along 2 km of the beach in Pantai Cermin, Port Dickson and Tanjung Tuan, Melaka has been detected. The Environment Department also conducted sea patrols and monitoring using drones to detect the cause of this oil spill. State Health, Environment, Cooperative and Consumerism Chairman S. Virapan told Bernama that they suspected that this oil spill is caused by the engine of vessel, but that can only be determined after getting the analysis result. So that is all from me. Thank you for your time and thank you for listening.